Look at us, beautiful.
Beautiful women.
Yeah,
Strong
I'm
women.
going to take this as strong women.
Okay.
Look at us talking about what?
So, I wondered if you would tell us about the course that you are running and the open studio events that you are running.
So we have decided to create a space once a month on an evening, the second Monday of every month for 10 months, where people can come together and explore art, therapy, critique, critical thinking in a, I'll call it a safe space. It's a bit awkward. In an environment that cherishes people, and where some preconcepts are gonna get crushed and changed. And
So preconcepts like
what art is, because for example, we're not going to be doing it from an art therapy perspective, because of course we're not art therapists, so kudos to them, and we're not doing it from a craft perspective, but we're doing it from a fine art open studio perspective.
So why was that important to you?
Because art making, as in art practice, not in the final outcome of whatever piece you're creating, but in the practice process, I think that allows for an opening or something within that you don't get in craft. There is like a meeting of being in the flow or in the momentness. There is an encounter between immanence and transcendence. It's something that is somehow not even explainable by words, but only by doing, because no knowledge is doing in a way. It's like an embodied knowledge. You experience things with your own body. So this is what we are doing.
Okay, fabulous. So you said it's about counselling, counsellors, but
Yes.
not just about counselling.
No.
So who would like this course then? Who would like this event?
I would think that any therapist, for example, who's interested in exploring their artistic side, any person who's interested in finding a like-minded, open, academic is not maybe the right word, but definitely somebody who's got like an academic background, or an interest in exploring, for example, philosophy if they've never done philosophy at a school or university, but also any artist who maybe has finished their BA or their MFA and they want to have like a peer support group in which they can come and test and try and have a conversation in a sort of like an open, almost critique kind of way. And where we can explore the making, the process, the philosophical side, the spiritual side that opens up when you're making art, and this is the kind of space that as a hope that I'm hoping to create. So I did a BA in fine arts when I was sort of like 4 years ago. Then I did a master's by research in fine art, and my specialty was drawing. But before that, my art thing is making sort of performance drawing on very large sheets of paper, who are vertical instead of actually being on a desk, which already makes a difference. And I used to do these very long, sort of like 8-hour-long drawing experiences by being watched by people. And of course, my therapeutic mind kicked in. And I've discovered, and I was sort of like very attentive of the idea of being watched and who watches me and who critiques me and are they coming to see me and are they think that they could tell me what they want me to do. So there were a lot of questions that came into that thing. And after that, when I went into doing my master's by research, I did that on that. But I looked more into the transcendent side and what actually happens between me in a very phenomenological response of me, the piece of paper and the pencil, and what it means. Losing yourself, and what is it that you discover and you find the moment that you lose yourself. So this is why I think that there is a nice meeting of philosophy and art and practice and analysis and loads of Jungian work that can be done on that. And of course the spiritual side of that. What is it that we find out when we lose ourselves? Who are we?
I'm really picking up on that huge curiosity that underpins it all.
Yes, and I think that, you know, making art means that we can be curious. What it means that instead of drawing on a piece of paper, you draw inside of a cup, or you draw on the floor, or you draw lying down, or, you know, drawing, you know, I'm doing a PhD now, for example, on rock art. So, you know, they used to draw a line in the mud and just a drawing on the scenic. What did it mean for them? What does it mean making art and not creating anything?
Yeah.
What does it mean making art and not showing it to anybody?
Yeah.
And I think that all those tools for a therapist can be easily transferable into a therapeutic room. And I think that that is important. Try something different.
Yeah.